And the winner is Arctic Monkey!
That subscriber content, eh? That subscriber content, it just won't go away.
It might hibernate from time to time and sink back into the swamp. I think the cyclical nature of the universe in which it exists demands it adheres to some of its rules.
But it's always waiting there, just around the corner, ready to make its way into your ears and smash through the gated payment system, sounding better than ever.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Benefits such as getting ad-free episodes a week early with pre- and post-show chat relating to the monkeys, last Shadow Puppets episodes, bonus podcasts, watch-alongs, plus helping us improve our sound with better equipment and services.
Yeah, this podcast seems like it's fading away sometimes, but with subscribers, it will never die. Thank you very much for listening. We do truly appreciate it. Don't take that the wrong way.
Yeah, we'll invoice you for the subscription if we need to.
We're Arctic Monkeys. This is Don't Believe the Hype.
That rock and roll, eh? Ladies! That sound means it's the end of the round. Time for the bonus question. Cheers, dude. That man just yawned. We're gonna call it
Don't Believe the Hype.
Hello and welcome to Series 3, Episode 12 of Don't Believe the Hype, the podcast that's taken a chronological look back at the discography of Arctic Monkeys. You thought the humbug era was over, but it's not, because we've got some, well, as we've discussed before, some of the best B-sides to cover, today being no exception, with me, Nick, and joining me as ever, he had a hole in the pocket of his favourite coat and his love dropped into the line. Do you know, there's someone out there in the world who thinks Dan wrote that lyric. And I think he's still going around because he won't have come across the song. So I think he's still going around thinking, yeah, yeah. He's just going about his life, still thinking about that lyric that you came up with and wondering how your music career is going. Great little joke for the fans there. That one.
I didn't even pose it as a lyric. I posed it as a philosophical phrase that I threw out there.
Even better. Even better. Probably wondering how your philosophy career is going. Anyway, it's Dan. Hello, Dan. You all right? Sunday afternoon, we're here.
Yeah, it's Sunday afternoon. Bit out of because I've been off work and been lazy, so I decided to give myself a bit of time away from everything for a week, just to reset. Well, no, I saw you on Wednesday.
Yeah, we did. We saw each other on Wednesday, didn't we?
Yeah, we got very high, didn't we?
Speak for yourself.
Not a lot. No Arctic Monkeys chat either. Interestingly, again,
none at all.
No. Maybe it's because we get it all out in this, so there's chats of other things.
Yeah, we chatted about upwards of 4 other things, didn't we?
Yeah, 4 other comedy shows. But no, I'm good. Couple of things to run by you before we get into chat about this week's song. Then, Nick. First of all, just a thought here, just something that came up across. I was watching a film. I was watching a TV show the other day, a Western, and there was a bit where a man in a
Yellowstone,
bar,
by any chance?
Yellowstone is what you would call a modern Western. This is one of the prequel series that I found out. I've now finished Yellowstone, and there's a prequel series. I started watching that called 1883, I think it was called, about the family in 1883.
Well, the year county were formed.
It's very much
a
Western. Yeah, well. And old bloke, his wife's dead, in a bar. And a prostitute comes up to him, and she's like, and he's like, "No, I'm not. You know, I've only got eyes for my wife. My wife was all I wanted, not you." And she leads in and she says, "You can call me by a name." And it got me thinking that we never discussed the possibility that the woman at the end of Cornerstone is a prostitute because she's on the phone to the middleman, who's potentially a pimp, and she says, "You can call me anything you want."
Like Cornerstone Part 2 coming next week.
It just made me think when I heard it. I thought, we never discussed the possibility that she's a prostitute that he's paying to pretend to be her.
Well, I'm going to try and carry on with this episode, but genuinely, that's going to be rent free in my head now.
Imagine me at 3 a.m. watching that, going, "Oh," but yeah, just a possibility. Just a possibility. Other piece of news. This yes. So we got an email from a listener called Christopher Gale. So imagine this: I'm sat on Thursday on an all-day session. So it's about it was half 3. It was half 2. Sorry, I just had my first pint of Pacifico, and
Nice.
and then I just ordered a JD and Coke. So I'm about to have a sip of the JD and Coke. A little bing email comes through. Christopher Gale, listener, Arctic Monkeys. Oh, okay. What's this? Hi guys, came across this piece of journalism on Twitter. Apologies if you've already covered it or you were deliberately ignoring it. A song ranking from joe.co.uk of the best Arctic Monkeys
Oh,
songs
well,
ever. Pre-Tranquility.
you lost me at joe.co.uk, to be honest, but go on.
He shared a couple of highlights from it. I was going to send it you immediately when I looked at it, but I thought I'm not going to ruin his day. I'll wait until Sunday to share it with him.
Oh, good. I'll ruin his Sunday instead, his day of rest.
Well,
the Lord's Day.
This is the place to do it. But one of the highlights he pulled out from there is Humbug is their worst album.
Ah.
No one's favorite Arctic Monkeys song could be Dance Little Liar. And Christopher points out that it's his favorite Arctic Monkeys song is Dance Little Liar.
Ah, go Christopher. Gale Force Wind, bossing it.
Gale Force Wind. Gale Plot.
Yeah, it was one of the two. I was going to.
Any other Gale?
My brains for 2 minutes.
Gale Porter.
Bald.
Christopher, isn't it? I think he's got a lovely head of hair. I think he might have messaged us.
I bet he has. A man who likes Dance Little Liar has to have a great head of hair.
Full head of hair, yeah, for the solo, the ding 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 ding.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Yeah.
A bald man could not enjoy that song in the same manner.
No, and if there's any bald listening that have, you're a fraud.
Yeah, yeah.
Get out now.
If there's any bald people listening, don't
stop listening. Yeah, not a fan of the bald. Best thing. None of the Arctic Monkeys are bald yet. Who do you think will be the first to go bald?
I think Helders, but deliberately.
A lot of musicians have incredible ability to keep their hair because they don't have normal lives that stress them out, do they? So you probably it's only if you're really genetically opposed to going bald that you're going to go bald if you're a musician. Otherwise, they usually keep it until well into the 50s, most musicians. Obviously, notable exceptions.
Elton John says different.
Notable exceptions. What do you mean? He's still got a full head of hair. Are you trying to tell me that's a wig?
Look, it is.
Who do you think? Helders? I thought Helders for some reason.
I don't know why.
I don't know why either. Although Jamie's probably the one who's aging the most rapid, so
yeah.
He started to look like an old wooden tree. I mean, an old oak tree, wooden tree, an old oak tree, like
as opposed to non-wooden trees.
It's a Sunday. I'm tired.
They're metal trees. They're lamppost, Dan.
Oh, another thing that quote from this article, Nick. Best thing about Jeweller's Hands is it means humbug is over.
Some people don't deserve ears.
He said it made me quite angry on a Thursday afternoon, so thought I'd share the anger out, which he did. And I said to him, "Thanks, I've just started drinking as well, so this is all coming." And then I thought, you know what? He provided a link, so I thought, right, let's dive in straight away. I mean, I haven't read the rest of it. I had to stop here, and I thought I'll leave it for Sunday because it got me too angry at this point when I did it. Because at the bottom of this list, so this is pre-Tranquility. So this is 2017, by the way. The last track, the worst Arctic Monkey song they've got here at number 59 is Potion Approaching. And when I read the first line was, honestly, what is this song? It's like something you hear at a Battle of the Bands night where the band have just met each other for the first time and quickly threw the track together on the spot. And I had to stop reading at that point. I thought if I keep reading and drinking this, then something bad's going to happen.
I'm tempted to read this piece, but I know if I do, I'll sit there wishing I've got wooden eyes.
One final line on that was, they say this album's heavily inspired by Queens of the Stone Age, but it's like they've never actually listened to them. So, yeah.
Stick to shit political takes, joe.co.uk.
58 Dangerous Animals. I think we can all agree that Humbug is the Arctic Monkeys' worst album, or fifth best if you're a glass half full type person. There are several regrettable tracks on this record, including Dangerous Animals. He says that never quite make it into the live set. Well, that's not true, is it?
Sorry, if we're talking about regrettable tracks, let's go back to like the bad thing, shall we?
Yeah. Mad Sounds, controversial. Mad Sounds number 57 on the worst Arctic Monkey songs here. So, then Black Treacle's 56. That annoyed me because it's from Suck It and See. Nothing from Suck It and See should be this low. I mean, I get they've only got 5 albums here to go from, but
I don't understand.
What they call. I'm just giving you the highlights because I don't want to go through it all. Only ones who know. One word: boring. They said. So they're that kind of person. That's the kind of person they are. I think that sums up the kind of person they are if they think Only Ones Who Know is boring just because it's slow, you know? Number one
Let's
party
go and burn
anthem
the
is
offices
down
of
at number
Joe
53
down.
in the worst Arctic Monkey song list. Bearing in mind they haven't had the bad thing yet.
Feeling very triggered right now.
He said the come on bit is more apt because I look forward to the end. They got Fire and Foot at 52, which is
How
one of the
hilariously
few.
witty.
One of the few. Won it all. Love is a Laser Quest at number 50 in the West Arctic Monkey songs. There.
Fuck off.
He puts the link to Alex performing it on KEXR, saying, "While the version above is admittedly better than on the album, it's still a pile of nothing. It's so boring." I mean, this is someone who obviously finds any song that isn't rapidly fast dull. So I think that's.
I'm assuming the top 10 is all. So I'm assuming the top 10 is all the first two albums.
Well, put it this: all this first run are the. Basically, this list is a mixture of all the slow, melancholic ones being at the bottom, and then with random ones thrown in. Basically, all the songs that we love are the songs that they hate. So they've got at 44, If You Were There, Beware. And they slag that off. I'm not even going to give that airtime.
There's deaf people out there who'd really love these songs.
I mean, Tuck It and See at number 38, which definitely should be in the top 10 Arctic Monkey songs. I'm sorry if you're not. This sums up why it doesn't get the mainstream success it should, is because this is what people that are idiots that are everyone else apart from the people that listen to this podcast and us think. There's a slight pop quality to this song. Oh, is there?
Slight
pop quality to Suck It and See, is there? By the way, The Bad Thing hasn't come up yet. I mean, The Bad Thing's here at number 37. They rate The Bad Thing better than Suck It and See.
My mind is blown.
They haven't even got the main 505 is at 36. So they got 505 only one track better than The Bad Thing. And I'm not even the big advocate of 505, but that's mental.
Well, I mean, we're getting close to general election time, and the person who wrote this, their vote means the same as mine. They have as much of a vote.
Why do you think the last 8 years in this country have been so torrid, Nick?
Fucking hell.
So the kind of this top 10. I mean, they do get the first track probably right. I'll give them that. But Stop Clock's right. Twice a day in it. Number 10, When the Sun Goes Down. Wouldn't make the top 10 for me, I don't think. Mardy Bum, number 9. Don't Sit Down Because I Move Your Chair, number 8. Weird that that's the song on Suck It and See that they really love, is Don't Sit Down Because I Move Your Chair. I really love Don't Sit Down Because I Move Your Chair. I think it's a great track. But, I mean, you've hated everything else on Suck It and See. Dance Floor is number 7. Brian Storm, number 6. Library Pictures, number 5. Obviously, this is before Tranquility, so we've only got up to... I mean, even AM's not making their cut here. Library Pictures at number 5. So this person just likes fast songs then, is basically what's going on here.
Yeah.
Library Pictures. I mean, I like Library Pictures, but it should no way be in anyone's top 10 Arctic Monkey songs, even before Tranquility. Like even when you've only got 5.
I don't think it'd make my top 10 on Suck It and See. And it's not that I don't like it, but I just there's like probably 10 more that I like more than that on that album.
Track 4, Brief on the Afternoon.
Okay.
Track 3, Cornerstone. So the one melodic song that they do like is Cornerstone, which is strange because they had like all the other Macaulay ones down at the bottom. So it's weird that Cornerstone made the cut there. And they say it's the only saving grace from Humbug.
Nope, wrong.
It's a tender love song. Well, or is it? I thought it was a breakup song.
Prostitutes we just discovered.
A Lady of the Night. Are You Mine at number 2. I can't really argue. I mean, I love Are You Mine. It was a game changer, so I can't really argue with that. And then number 1, Certain Romance.
Yeah, no problem with people having certain romances. I mean, if Dance Floor had come in at number 1 there, I'd have been smashing stuff up right now.
No, it's an acceptable number 1, but the rest of most of that list is fucking a disaster. I mean, it's easy to get it right when Arctic Monkeys have got such quality songs. It's easy to get the top 3 right, isn't it, or under 5? Because and they didn't even get that. I probably wouldn't have Brief in the Afternoon in my top 5, although it's a great tune.
Yeah, that's
Library Pictures, Brief in the Afternoon, no. I wouldn't have Cornerstone in my top 5, but you would. That's just a slight difference. But you'd have, but I'd have Suck It and See in my top 5. So It'd be interesting. We should do that. Maybe we should do that as an episode. We should do a list like that. We should do a better version of the Joe list before Tranquility, so it can't be kind of put in with all the newer stuff that people don't like as much. It's just the 5 that people like, and rate that as our favorite list.
Yeah.
A top, whatever it was, 59 tracks of the first 5 albums before they kind of got a bit differing in opinions for people. Let's say
You should do that. Maybe
Yeah.
that can be one of the wrap
a better version of the Joe list. I reckon.
Won't be hard. I'll just smear some shit on the walls. And it'll
Yeah,
be
that's true. Yeah.
better than that. Or as I call it, Thursday night.
That person must really hate them now. That's what I was thinking though. If this was their list then in 2017, they must really fucking hate Arctic Monkeys now.
Well, think of all the money they got from the sweet clicks on that article.
Putting football managers' heads over famous films.
Yeah. They mustn't have had any witty ideas for video content that week.
The guy from Joe was on one of those Finn Taylor videos. Some guy from Joe, and he absolutely laid into him. It was hilarious.
Quite right.
So there we go. But we're not here. That was just a couple of housekeeping notes there. A couple of things.
Yeah, it was horrible.
mention.
Thanks.
No worries. Still good news about the
Shower
prostitute. But we're here to talk about something stranger than the strange list by Joe. I haven't got my strange list by Joe. Strange.
This is. I'll
I
just
wish I
segue
was
nicely
doing
into
my
a couple
hair
of songs at that
while
point.
was reading while they've released the list.
If I was directing traffic, I'd direct it right into the front door of their offices.
But like a gale force wind from Christopher, it blew into my lap.
Coming back. Yeah. Thanks for that correspondence, Christopher. Thanks for ruining my day. Let's have a listen to the song anyway, shall we?
Good job we didn't do the B-sides on that.
Nice.
B-sides on that list, isn't it? Bloody hell.
I think he'll be taking up heroin right now if he has.
One can hope.
Taking up heroin like it's golf.
Taking it up his veins.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a cool rock song, but it's just got like quick, fast lyrics and in and out, isn't it? But it is a cool rock song.
It's like a weird amalgamation of everything they've done on Humbug, bits of the Favourite Worst Nightmare B-sides, but then with like the shortness of stuff like Sticking to the Floor.
I agree on the Favourite Worst Nightmare B-sides.
It could easily have gone on there.
But yeah, do you want some information on it? The little information that there is on this one.
Yeah, this will be a long segment.
Oh, there is something. I haven't got my strange is 1 minute and 29 seconds long and has 4.1 million streams on Spotify. So very much on the lower end of the Arctic Monkey scale of streaming. And it was included as an iTunes bonus track when the album was released. So specifically on iTunes. Back in those days, this was iTunes dead by Suck It and See? When does iTunes die?
Well, no, because they had the iTunes Festival for Suck It and See and AM, didn't they? They played the iTunes Festival. Mind you, they moved more into putting gigs on because they were making no money from...
It was sometime between AM and Tranquility that everything changed in terms of Spotify, didn't it? I remember switching to streaming very around that. Some point in the middle of there in that 5 years, I can't remember when.
Yes.
Was when the world changed in every way. But it's 143 beats per minute and is in the key of A. And the song has been played live not once, by the band, so it's never been pulled out as a little one, which I was hoping it would be, but according to Setlist FM, no dice.
Hang on. Just wait right there a second.
If you're gonna pull a YouTube video where it looks like they're playing it live, I've already clicked on it and it's not them. It's a cover. It's people that look like them, and it's a cover. If you read the information, it's them covering it. They very much look like Arctic Monkeys because they got the faces covered with long hair. But
yes, they really do. Yeah, that's really upset me. That has.
If you read the information, it says it's a cover.
Yes, it does.
I thought you might think. I thought you might see that and think for a minute. So I made a note of it. Then I was right. Read you like a book.
Not a very good book. Certainly not for Avatars by Andy McNabb, the best book ever written.
So I don't want to bother to put a bookmark in. I just open it and
no. I think
lose,
if I over the page in my book.
No, not even that. I'd just like close it, and then if I opened it at a different place that was later on, I'd just accept that I lost 30 pages and just carry on until the end. Yeah, just to get it done quicker.
Slice of cheese as a bookmark.
Then I'd burn it. Wouldn't even give it to a charity shop. Burn it. I did give a load of books.
Would
to
it
a
be a
charity
big
shop
burning or just that one?
Did I tell you? I decided to give to the RSPCA charity shop in Didsbury a load of books that I've got. I was getting rid of. Yeah, well, I went down there and it was shut, even though it should be open. But they said, sorry, we've had to close today. And I had nowhere. I was going to a wedding after it, so I had to leave the books on the doorstep. And then I went and then covertly went back in a few days later, and I saw all my books on the shelf, and I was like, phew, they got there. No one stole them. They made their way in there. People left them. So yeah,
a great result for everyone.
Yeah,
particularly the animals.
Well, that's the only charities I care about generally. So
animals over people any day of the week.
Any day of the week,
and twice on Sundays.
But yeah, hum a Ford a hum. Oh, it's going to Batman now. Ford a hummy and a hummy.
He has gone very well.
Spider-Man, sorry.
Batman,
not Batman. Spider-Man.
Sorry, yeah, Spider-Man.
Spider hum. Ford a hum. Hard a fun.
Given that he appears on it, I'm going to say Josh Homme.
You would be incorrect, my friend. This track was produced by James Ford. Yeah, it surprised me too. Yeah, the credits are for James Ford. I know. I knew you'd go for Homme. That's why I laid the trap. I knew you'd easily go for it.
I mean, Homme's on it, so I assume
I know, yeah. If you look at the credits, it says James Ford, producer.
Well done, James.
Maybe Homme laid down a demo or something with them, and then Ford went and produced it, and that's where they used the original vocal or something. Perhaps is how I theorized it.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. Yes. Although Ford on Spotify, Ford isn't even credited as Homme isn't even credited as a contributor to the song.
No, he's not.
No. So it's just for a bit of fun. Well, we got no gear, and we got no. Oh, we got one review. The old Enemy Faithful list, of course.
Oh, good.
Always reliable. Ever reliable. Although we've had our issues with the enemy list at times, when you read the Joe list, you very much do appreciate the enemy list, at least. Yeah, it does have some sense to it for most parts. And this one is at number 69. Sexy. Amidst a fountain of zippy riffage, here lays lines so pointed and sharp that it often takes a minute for them to click. Turn it in tones of an affair atop a sprightly rhythm. It's remarkably dexterous, both lyrically and musically. Very good review.
Nice one, Enemy. Well done.
Yeah. So speaking of the music, as we said, I think you were spot on with the a lot of your little verdict there that you gave.
Yeah.
I think probably the standout is the amazing bass line.
With a bit of fuzz
and the drums combo. And the Helders O'Malley combination striking again. Where would we be without them, eh? Where would we be? Some would say tranquility. They'd be wrong.
The idiots! You're working for Joe.
Yeah, great bass line, this. Proper makes it there. And also this entire, you know, I have a fondness for when the guitar or one of the instruments goes along with the singer. Well, this song pretty much every instrument near enough does that at different points during this song, so it's a highlight for me.
Do you think if this was on the album properly, it'd be a contender for the best bass line on the album?
Yeah, I think
I
so.
think it'd be in that discussion.
It's got some stiff competition, but it would be up there.
Yeah,
I think
great.
if it was a full track, yeah, contender. I can't remember if any of the bass lines are like on the other B sides to say whether it'd be the best bass line of the B sides at this point, but
Yeah, but coming in with this and Red Right Hand, coming in very strong with the bass lines. It's going to take a lot to unseat one of them in terms of the B side.
oh, this is the first proper B side, isn't it? I suppose non-cover.
Yeah,
as well today. Yeah.
Was it the Japanese version that had them both as bonus tracks on the album, which I don't.
The Japanese one had Red Right Hand as a bonus track, and this one was an iTunes bonus track, wasn't it? It might have been a bonus track on track, yeah. But yeah, the bass is like really rocky and funky at the same time, which is obviously a staple of Mr. O'Malley.
It's got that fuzzy thing, that 60s garage rock sort of fuzz on it as well, which I'm a big fan of.
Yeah. I used to think that some of these were quite experimental, the B-sides, but now as time's gone on, I don't actually think that they're that experimental. I think they're just quite rocky, I suppose.
Yes. Yeah.
They're not as different as you think.
At the time, it definitely came across as experimental.
Yeah. But then I suppose it was a different time back then for everyone.
Jimmy Savile hadn't been outed yet. Very different time.
Very different time. Then the bass and drums for a while, and then you get a little Jamie Cook screech. Fretting of a guitar.
Not just a Jamie Cook fretting of a screech this time.
Yeah, screecher. You just don't. It's just pops up, and then you go, "Oh, what's that? Are we heading towards some guitar?" And then you get your kind of what I'd call an atypical Monkeys chorus. Heavy strums and some JC Rocky specials.
Yeah.
Little atypical, like if I was to slam it at the time at what an Arctic Monkeys chorus sounds like, it would very much be the chorus to this, I'd say. Yeah. But I do agree with you about the Favourite Worst Nightmare B-side. I think it does sound at times more like a Favourite Worst Nightmare B-side than it does a Humbug song. Because I think all the other B-sides do sound humbuggy, but this one, I do wonder, with them having Fire in the Flood before, I do wonder if this is one that they've been working on before around Favourite Worst Nightmare time.
Quite possibly, I think. Yeah.
And that would explain why perhaps James Ford produced it.
I think even the sub. Yes. Oh, we might have stumbled upon something there. Yeah.
Because we'll see if any more of the tracks B-sides. If all the other B-sides say Ford, say Homie, and this one says Ford, then that could be a clue.
Seal it
to that, perhaps, because it does have that kind of. Doom, 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 doom. It does have that more Favourite Worst Nightmare feel than Humbug, I think.
I think that's something
because even the guitar, even the kind of lead guitar that comes in is a bit. It's like a cool lead that does the same as the singing. That kind of doom diddle diddle doom 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 does sound a bit more like the guitar, I suppose, from less humbuggy guitar and more. Trying to think what kind of. What if you're right first time? If you're there everywhere, maybe it just sounds a bit. There's a different tone.
What if you're right first time is the first song that came to mind when I thought of Favourite Worst Nightmare B-sides. That's the one that came to mind that I think is similar to this. That would make it
does have that more of a feel to it. Perhaps it was an old one that they do that, so that they revamped for this era or something. Maybe we'll find out. We'll keep a note if in the coming weeks Sketchhead, Catapult, etc. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, then after that they have a little pause, a little Helders drum intro, a Monkey's pause, and a Monkey's Helders drum intro.
It's not finished. It's finished.
a yeah, and a rocky end where it's kind of like that thing that they do where all the kind of previous components that have been scattered throughout the song come together and all play at the same time for the outro. Good
Fantastic falsetto on that part as well.
Yes.
The whole call and response vocal thing again. Very Libertines
desert
again,
rock.
which we've had a bit before.
A taste of what's to come.
Very much so.
Yeah, kind of one of those
Very
earlier
much
because there isn't as much on Humbug of that kind of backing vocal, is there? Like they do on AM and stuff. But this is one of them. He has a lot more swagger back here in his voice, I think, Alex, than he does on Humbug. He has that favorite West Nightmare swagger to his voice. Kind of, you know.
Yeah,
I mean?
it's very
It's
laid
old
back.
Alex
A lot of his
swagger.
vocals on Humbug.
Yeah, old Alex swagger with the new Alex voice, though.
Yes.
So,
yeah. Perfect.
I guess he has that for a couple of the B-sides actually, and then he goes away.
Yes, he does.
Does it ever return? We shall see.
Yeah, find out soon on Don't Believe the
Hype. But yeah, good Helder's drumming as well for the outro. Very good Helder's drumming for what is a 1 minute 30 song.
Fantastic.
The bass and the drums absolutely smash it.
Well, that's it. With it being 1 minute 30, you can properly go hard. You can properly
go hard or go home.
Properly go for it. Go hard or go home. And he probably did both. Probably went hard and then went home. Safe in the knowledge that he'd gone hard.
Go hard or just hold on, I'm going home.
Can we stop saying
going
go hard?
Home? No, I'm going to clip it up. I'm going to clip it up and just put it on a loop. You go hard, go hard, go hard. When I'm alone.
And now we've got a reason to get on TikTok. Hey Dan, do you like listening to popular songs with questionable lyrics?
You know I bloody do. And Nick, do you like drinking copious amounts of alcohol?
Nah, do I ever? Actually a worry.
Well, if you're the same as us, then come listen to a weekly podcast, Liquor and Lyrics, where we take apart popular music's worst songwriting whilst drinking our favourite drinks, which kind of stay in theme with the song.
From Gin and Tonic to Grease Lightning.
Cosmopolitans with Chaz and Dave.
Blue Lagoons with Busted.
Sex on the Beach with Sex on Fire.
Shirley Temples with Shaggy.
And even a shandy with Sharon.
Dropping on Tuesday the 19th of September and every Tuesday after on your favourite podcast platform.
But yeah, it's short and sweet, but the bass and the drums smash it. The little guitar interludes are great, and it's got a kind of not as humbuggy as some of it is humbuggy, some of it's futury with the backing vocals, and some of it harks back to the past. It's an amalgamation. I would say Red Right Hand sounds more humbuggy than Haven't Got My Strings does.
Definitely,
Yeah.
yes, it does.
Do you have a cover?
We're getting a great mix on these B-sides.
Yeah, we are. I mean, we've got what have we got coming up? We've got like a kind of rocky, again, bass-led one. We've got an acoustic-led one. We've got a kind of piano-led one. We've got a sort of really cool rock song. I don't know what you call Flightline Dining Room, but it's we've got some
makes
great
you
songs.
Feel like the feeling it out to see what they're going to do next. They're trying all sorts of different stuff,
experimenting. And in true Monkeys fashion,
uncertain.
what they created was nothing like it. Which is why when we theorized that the next album's going to be like 70s rock, I'd be very surprised if we were right, because I've never ever been right before about what the next album's going to sound like, ever. Not once have I ever been able to predict the sound of an Arctic Monkeys album on the way in now, which is good. Keeps me on my toes.
Probably never will.
We never will. Who knows? The next one might be, I don't know, back to sort of funky bass. I don't know. You never know with them, do you?
Oh, I'd like that. I'll take anything.
70s funky bass over instead of 70s rock, the 70s funk, bit of like Young Americans style album.
Maybe they'll just cover the whole Glass Construction album.
Like a sort of I Ain't Where I Think I Am. But like better as a whole album. But that kind of funky sound, but done better.
You'd be happy with that.
I'll be happy with that. I'll be happy with anything they do, the boys. But as long as it's good. But the I suppose speaking of, we did our pre-show album cover, and we've taken a few weeks break, aren't we, from our random album generator, and we're covering some releases. So we just done
Some albums
Elbow,
we're interested in that we want to do. Yeah.
Elbow Audio Vertigo, which they've said has been inspired by Arctic Monkeys and Queens of the Stone Age, so specifically AM. So we thought it was a good time to do that because of present company included, present songs included, present album included.
Yes.
And then we're going to do the new Libertines release, Michael Jackson's latest release. We're going to do Libertines release, and we're going to do
beat it to it.
and then we're going to beat it. And then we're going to do Black Keys latest release. So all Monkeys adjacent, because Arctic Monkeys are obviously big Libertines fans, and famously went down to London in one of Alex's mum's blazers turned inside out.
Brilliant.
Alex did,
Wish
not the
the
whole
picture
band.
was out there. That. Yeah, just all got in.
It's not the invisibility cloak, but
That was the beginning of the end for Andy. They're like, "You're not going to fit into this, Andy. Sorry." So he had to just go along in his own jacket.
That Nick that works at Sainsbury's is quite slim, isn't he?
Yeah, Asda, get it right.
Oh, sorry.
Hell.
Don't market. But yeah, no, we just did that. So yeah, become a subscriber, and next week you can hear us reviewing the Libertines album. And the Black Keys.
You can find out how to become a subscriber in the episode description, where you can also find links to all our other stuff. And if you'd be so kind, go and give us a review. As long as it's a good one.
That'd be nice. That'd be lovely. Do you have any? Do you have anyone that you want to cover this track?
I'm gonna form a covers band and all.
So going back to what I said before about the kind of fuzzy 60s garage rock sound, particularly from the bass, I'd like someone along them lines like the Sonics to cover it. But then at the same time, the delivery, I find the delivery of the vocals on this from Alex to be very British, specifically English.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
So that would be a bit of a sticking point with like an American sort of psych rock band doing it. That'd be
there is a lot of northern feel to it, isn't there? Even though it's this desert rocky sounding song, I guess.
I've lost his roots by then.
Yeah, bloody hell. I mean, there's so many times when we'll be able to point out that he has not, in fact, lost his roots lyrically as we go into the American.
We need to come up with an alarm for that.
Oh, we should come
up with a jingle. Yeah,
we should be Liam Gallagher saying, "What's that accent all about?" when he was in that interview. When he said he's
right, I'll get that for next week.
But yeah, something like that he said, wasn't it? But I think I was trying to think, and I think so a band I really like that are kind of this world adjacent because Josh Homme was in them, Eagles of Death Metal, and I think because of the kind of the backing vocal like that, because they do that kind of "I want you so hard, I want you so good." Yeah. I think they do a good version of this. I think they'd be like, doing the kind of high pitched Helder's bit.
It's the perfect shout, that, if you ask me. I think that's perfect. Yeah.
Oh, I'm here all week. I'm not. But yeah, what's this one only beat in, Nick? You reckon?
So I see it, particularly from the first verse, finding out his girlfriend's had an affair. I think that's what it's. And my strange, or a bit of strange, is slang for a bit on the side, as it were.
Yes, it's a slang for an affair, isn't it? I mean, I always didn't know whether it was referring specifically to the woman, or it was more torrid than that, and the strange was the vagina, because some people use it that way. I've heard people use it that way. It's strange, which is pretty grim, but yeah.
Which puts a new spin on "Put Me in a Terror Pocket" as well. Is that another vagina slang?
He put her in a terror pocket, but he slipped into the lining. So
it's a fault. Flatline dining room. It's all vaginas. It was all vaginas all along.
My Prella was cocks.
Yep.
So he's making a sequel.
It's just knobs and fannies all the way through.
Well, there's a strong argument for that based on Favourite Worst Nightmare. So
just thinking of what other vagina songs we can do. Looking back to it. Ultra cheese.
Oh God. In your case, science fiction. Last time you saw one. Hey!
Let's.
Yes. Where were we? Yeah, I think so as well. I think it's about partner cheating. That kind of your partner cheating on you. Because he says, when I got back from fixing my hair, so like fixing your hair in the toilet reference.
Yeah.
There, I was thinking, is it like a
Or
dig at
even as
himself?
just a general yeah. So it could be that, but also
Like, wrapped up in his
could
own
sort of see it as
self,
like
you know.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, doing his own thing. So it could almost be a metaphor of just being off away doing his own thing. Like,
Yeah, didn't notice the affair because he's off too wrapped up in himself doing stuff or whatever that he doesn't notice it. Yeah, I think that's possibly because that's something you might say. Well, you've been fixing your hair, you know, kind of thing. Maybe.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll do powder my nose.
Well, that can have. If Miles is with you, that could have multiple connotations. You and then you were directing the traffic, so I think fairly straightforward. She's controlling the situation,
Controlling the narrative.
yeah, but not very well because she's letting your story slip on the snow as if the transmission was automatic. She's controlling it, but not well.
Underrated. Out of all the lyrics in this song, underrated Alex lyric number 1 right there.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? It's very cool. Yeah,
and we know what the second one is.
Well, she's she's slipping. A story slipping. Great metaphor for that. Slipping on the snow is transmissional. Like, yeah, I can confirm. I haven't had a car. It wasn't automatic, but it was German. It was BMW, and they put it's rear wheel drive. So when you're on snow, the car just completely bucks up. Basically, you may as well just close. But yeah, and then he says it's arguable that I shouldn't have been there. It was fortunate timing. As if he's caught her out. He stumbled into finding out about the affair. He's come back, caught her, and then she's babbling, trying to control the situation, but not very well.
Which suggests that there was no suspicion at that point. There was no suspicion at all.
Because he was too busy off fixing his hair. He didn't notice out. Yeah.
What a fine main
up in his own world.
I'd be off fixing that as well.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, cheat on me all you want. I've got this head of hair.
yeah.
That's all I want. And then what is possibly underrated, but a potential for one of his best as well. At the same time, like arguably, like not coined by me, but I had a hole in the pocket of my favorite coat. And my love dropped into the lining.
It's gone. You'll never see it again. That's it. It's very much the sartorial equivalent of when you drop a guitar pick into an acoustic guitar through the hole.
Well, what do you interpret that to mean? Well, first of all, it's one of his best ever lines, I'd say. Like, I know he's got so many, but I think you could easily, if you were to, which we probably will one day, sit down and try and figure out the best Alex lyric. That'll be a podcast.
Yeah. That'll be a World Cup thing, I think.
That'll be a whole series. Oh yeah, no, I don't know. Figure out an easy way to do it this time. That was stressful for me. That, but
we'll just come up with 32 of them this time.
Yeah,
I think that's the way to do it.
It'll be easy with lyrics, I suppose. But yeah. I meant just us doing a podcast like where we do when it's all said and done. We'll maybe do a load of podcasts like that where we just try and pick the best lyric together, try and come to an agreement. Yeah, maybe we'll have like the Oscars of Arctic Monkeys and we'll award the awards.
Some awards, yeah. We'll do that. Yeah, get some guests on to present the awards.
Yeah. But I think that would be a shout for being up there as one of his best. That as the person that thought that I coined it they thought it was an amazing thing that I said. So which goes to show.
Right, you did some great work. It's some of your best work.
Thanks. But I do think it can be interpreted potentially two ways. How do you interpret it?
So I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to hear these two ways, but I just see it as it was there and now it's not. Essentially,
so like
I think it's a matter of as soon as this affair has been uncovered, it's not been a matter of thinking, well, there's going to be another chance or anything. It was just like that, boom, gone.
Well, yeah. So either like she broke his heart and his love has dropped, like not gone completely because it's in the lining, but it's just been broken. And he still loves her in that pained way, but where you hate them, but you still love them type kind of thing.
Based on my experience of dropping things into the lining of coats, it's normally very unlikely that I'll see it again. You can try, when you've got your hand in your pocket and you will be walking along, like trying to get it back.
Well, actually, my coat has 2
ultimately
holes
futile.
in the pockets of the lining here that happened. And I know you utilized them. So the other day I didn't have, got some shopping and my bag was full, my backpack, and I had 2 pot noodles. And because of the lining, I was able to just slip the pot noodles into the lining. As
It's a car crash of a shopping trip.
Well, I took one bag and ended up buying more than I thought. So, but
Yeah,
so I put the pot noodles were able to fit in the lining, so it was great. Don't know what I look like.
You had a hole in the pocket of your favourite coat, and your pot noodles dropped into the lining.
Into the lining, they did, and then I ate them later on, and they were lovely. But there you go. But my second interpretation of that is it possible that she's the favourite coat? Like his favorite coat, his favorite person, but she has a hole because she doesn't love him as much as he thought and decided to cheat on him. And his love he's given her has slipped into her lining. Because if the song is about his partner cheating on him, he says, "I haven't got my strange, not on me," which must be from her point of view, right? Unless he's doing that thing where he's the one that cheated and he flips it round like he does. But because what would I haven't got my strange mean if he's the one that was cheated on?
Good shout.
Yeah, because he's the injured party. He's not the one with the strange. She's the one with the strange.
And it links as well because they follow up. Have you got your strange with not on me? And not. If I said, have you got your keys on you? You check your pockets. So it's back to the pockets again, the pocket of the coat.
Yeah. That's what I don't get. It's from her point of view. He's either saying, if he's saying that it's his love, she broke his heart and his love's gone, which is the obvious explanation. And then he's saying, I haven't got my strange. Is he saying that he's not got someone he's cheating with? He hasn't got his strange. So you shouldn't have one. Or is it? But then that doesn't really make sense, really, if you've just been cheated on, to be complaining that you haven't got a bit on the side either. So it must be that
possibly they're both cheating. Maybe it's not an exclusive thing, but
perhaps.
Yeah, there's several
But yeah, I like the idea that because he specifically says favorite coat. He doesn't just say I've got the hole in the pocket of my coat. He says I've got a hole in the pocket of my favorite coat, as if the one he likes to wear the most. So she's his favorite coat. And she's got the hole in her heart for him, and the love's dropped into the lining of it. Ooh. She stopped loving him. I think I prefer that interpretation, whether it's true or not. I think I like the idea of that. She's the favorite coat.
gmail.com.
Yeah, I like the idea that she's his favorite coat, and her love's fell into the lining, so he's no longer got his favorite coat.
Yeah, email us, let us know what you think, and tell us all about your favorite coat as well. It's mental.
I love a good metaphor for a clothing for a person. So there you go. Because then have you got your strange? Yeah, I just can't understand the perspective unless he's doing that thing where he's the one that's cheating, and it was from her point of view in the verses, and now it's from his point of view, like he does. So either way, the I haven't got my strange doesn't make sense if he's the one that's got cheated on. So I do wonder what he's playing with there.
If the backing vocals could be directed at her, and he is responding to the backing vocals as her.
I haven't got my strange, not on me. Could be, yeah. He's playing around with the format, isn't he?
He is, as he does.
So Helders is
bugger.
Taking up the Josh Homme as well. Wait, is Josh Homme
as well, yeah.
Which bit did Josh Homme do on this?
He's on backing vocals, so it'll be part. Right? I imagine it's part of the falsetto and everything.
Right, well, I've never heard his voice in it.
No, it doesn't come across as much as the other. He must be quite low down in the mix, I think.
Yeah, he doesn't have that distinct Josh Homme, like you hear him on like knee socks or whatever, or when you hear him on what AM one is he? Someone an AM isn't? No, knee socks.
One for the road.
One for the road. Yeah, he hasn't got that same sort of thing there. But maybe he didn't want to be too prominent on it because he produced it or whatever. Well, he didn't produce this one, but the album. And then he says, "You can't sleep until you've sat on the steps to weep till you feel like you've wept." Yeah, which is a cool line as well, isn't it?
Oh,
I
yes.
like the way he performs this one. It's a really good one. That.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have sort of two. What do you think he means by that?
I see it as the thing of that sort of thing weighing on you, and you do need to just let it all out. You know, when you like kind of running over it in your mind again and again and again, and having to get it out.
That's what I mill between. Is that like him as the wronged party actually crying until he can't cry anymore? You just got to get it out. Or because if the only thing that takes me away from that is because of the way he performs it, and he does a kind of like, "You can't sleep until you weep like you've wept." Yeah, it sounds a bit mocking to me, as if he's saying that she pretends to be upset, as if like you can't sleep until you've sat on the steps to weep till you feel like you've wept, till you feel like you've pretended to cry enough to make it seem like that you pretending you feel like you made a mistake or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like it feels like the way he sings it makes it sound a bit mocking, like rather than sad.
Yeah, it is. But yeah,
It's got
very very withering tone, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, like
Yeah.
yeah. I just feel like he could be having a little dig there. At her. Like you'll sit there and cry and pretend that you're sorry, and you'll do it until you feel like you've done it enough to warrant that you feel guilty or whatever. To me, yeah, I don't know. I think there's two for that. It's just his performance that takes me there more than sad. It doesn't sound like him crying about that really. And then he just kind of repeats the lyrics. He does say, "I better fetch my strange," though, which again is a strange one from his point of view. And if he's saying like, he could be saying like, "You're cheating with someone, I better go fetch my strange, better go get my own bit on the
Two
side."
can play that game.
Yeah, two can play that game. Oh, yeah.
Can play that game.
Yeah, I mean,
Two.
it's definitely about someone cheating on someone, whether he's
Yes,
saying it from which perspective he's moving around, or whether he's saying he should then go and cheat as well. A lot of songs about cheating on this era. It does make you wonder, with the fact that him and Alexa wrapped up pretty quickly after this.
Yeah.
Don't want to get into all that, but just makes you wonder. There's a few, isn't there? Dance Little Liar, this. I think there's others. There are others.
And I think tracks like this show as well. Obviously when I know you spoke to someone about when we were starting this show up. And it's like, well, how much is there actually to talk about? It's like, this is one of the most
Yeah,
simple
get it all the
songs of
time.
this era on the face of it, and there's so much to still pick at. There's still different interpretations, even though it is a relatively simple song.
Well, it's like I would say, if it wasn't for the fact that Alex's lyrics could be interpreted, we wouldn't be able to do it, because we'd just be sat here going, "Oh, I like that guitar bit," like, you know what I mean? And then
Which is what I'd imagine an Oasis podcast is like.
Yeah. I like just telling a story about that song or whatever. But I don't think. Yeah, I think if it wasn't for Alex's lyrics, probably wouldn't do it, because there wouldn't be as much to delve into. But you have to do it just like album or something. But yeah, especially from this point on, pretty much there's always something to talk about in the lyrics, and definitely next week.
Oh yes.
Well, next week links to Julius Hand's episode, so it's kind of a link back, a throwback.
It's been coming
in Alex's own words, yeah. But we've got no John Kennedy, obviously. But do you want to say your favorite? I think we know what the favorite lyric's probably going to be, but
don't fully know what favorite.
Well, maybe no. You might go the other way.
Too busy with the mind on clever lines.
I had a hole in the pocket of my favorite coat, and my love dropped into the lining. Is the correct answer.
Alex Turner, Dan Holt. Like Michael Scott with the Wayne Gretzky quote.
Yeah, you miss 100% of the chances you don't take.
Wayne Gretzky and Michael Scott.
It's funny that there's someone out there that thinks that I created that. Imagine if they're using it and imagine if they started using it because I don't know them anymore, and they use it, and then they say it to someone and they go, "You didn't come up with that. You stole it off."
That's Arctic Monkeys. My whole life has been a lie.
But then he looks like the fool and not me. But I think I just I can't remember why I said it. I didn't say it in a way to present it like that. I just said it out loud for some reason. And he went, "Did you just come up with that?" And I just went, "Yeah." I thought I made a quick calculation that I know he doesn't like Arctic Monkeys and he knows nothing about them, and he's definitely never going to hear the B-side. So I just thought, yeah.
I mean, it could be so different. Imagine you're like, it's 2013, all across the galaxy. He's like, did you come up with that? Yep. It's like, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, get out now. Excuse me.
You don't work here anymore.
I think we established in the pre-show chat what a great song 2013 is. Thank you very much. And when we get to it, I will be singing its praises when we eventually get there.
I will also be singing its praises, but I think we'll both still admit
This time
it
next
might
year,
well be the
probably.
worst song of that era. And that's not an indictment on it being bad. It's just that everything else is so good. There might be one or two that I'll have below it, actually, thinking about it. Yeah.
I don't know, actually. I can't think. Can't think of what will be below it.
Actually, no, because I like I Want It All now. So yeah, it probably will be last.
Well, I Want It All is definitely better than it. Yeah, no, it probably is last, but, as ever.
But it just shows how good that era was. It's not.
I think apart from one song in this era and one song in last era, there's no songs that I want to be last after this. There's one song in this era that I know is last for me, and there's one song on Favourite Night, The Bad Thing on Favourite Nightmare that I know is last. But none of the others albums have anything that I want to be last. There might be places that slot there organically, but there's nothing that I physically want to be last, I don't think.
Yeah, I was just thinking about what I'll have last in Series 4.
There's a chance in Series 6 that the B-side might not even be the last song. Might not even be the one that is last in the list, because we won't be able to do our separate, because at the moment we separate B-side it, don't we? But after Suck It and See, I think we have to include them in the same list, because there's not enough B-sides really to make it worth ranking them. I think we'd have to throw them in with the album, won't we? So yeah. But yeah, more on that this time next year probably. But
so we both agreed on the favourite lyric anyway.
We'll probably agree on the favourite musical moment as well, I imagine.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Bad sounds in your ear that make you get up and down.
It's all about that bass, about that bass.
About that bass. No treble.
Yeah, bass shout out to the lead that comes in and goes, but yeah, it's got to be the bass. I think the whole song's around the bass. Got to be.
Has to be. Yep. Nothing else going for it. It's got to be that.
Short and sweet this week, isn't it? I guess the episode length and the track length tally, don't they?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Short episode this week. Ready to. I mean, with it being a shorter episode, you'll be
probably the last short episode
content,
for a long time, I'd imagine.
Definitely. Yeah. Absolutely. But you'll be
because
starved
none
of
of the
content.
B-sides
So
are
go
short.
and look at the subscriber stuff. We've got stuff on our subscriber channel where you've got all the Last Shadow Puppet stuff. You've got watch alongs. You've got other songs that we've done as per listener request. So if you subscribe, you can get in touch and tell us what song you want, what non-monkey song you'd like us to do, and we'll do it for you. The same format as this. So it's all happening.
And we've just finished Shadow Puppets album, first one, and we're about to do the B-side. So you got all that. You got 10 episodes there to get on with.
Yeah.
Already. Soon to be 11, and plenty of watch-alongs as well. In fact, we'll probably do another one this month. I think we're going to do all the... Is it this era that the view-froms stop? Matt Helder's view-froms. So we should watch all of them as a watch-along, shouldn't we? Yeah. So we're going to do all them bad boys.
It's not like a playlist together then, but we have reached.
Already exists. Someone on YouTube has kindly done it for us, Nick. Already, I've seen.
Oh, is it? Because there was one, and then it got taken down.
There is.
But I'm assuming.
Other current news at the moment means that one of them is going to be a bit awkward, but hey ho.
Let's get that one saved before it gets taken down.
I bet didn't we have a listener that knew them and was there the night that he met them in New York? But that's a bit of an awkward story to tell now. Not as impressive anymore.
Just by his absence.
Part of it, the ring, were you? No, I'm joking.
Or her absence. Could be a lady.
Could be a lady. You know you are.
Yeah, can't remember now. Anyway, we have reached the point of the show where Dan has enlisted the help of artificial intelligence, aka AI. I've been wanting to say AKA AI for a
Well
while,
done.
so glad I didn't make a big deal out of it. Dan has enlisted the help of artificial intelligence, aka AI. I'm going to say it again, to help write a witty but informative description of the next episode, and that is a section of the show that we lead into with the following jingle.
Push the button and we'll do the rest.
Thought you were going to lose your way there, but you reined it in. You managed to get there in the end. I worried for
The
a
Indiana
second.
Jones rickety bridge thing
Thought
again.
the car was
Always
veering
happens.
off the edge. Ladies
Car went
and
up the hill.
gentlemen. Yep. Ladies and gents, catapulting. Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourselves for a roller coaster ride into the whimsical world of Arctic Monkeys with their cheeky tune, Catapult. Picture this, both sides softly growling, whispers splitting the mist, and index fingers flicking socks. Yes, you heard that right. As you delve into the depths of this peculiar melody, you'll find yourself caught in the gravitational pull of a character who could catapult you back to your daddy or into any hissing misery with just a flick of his finger. He's the master of charm and the king of mischief, leaving without saying bye and queuing up to listen to him. Well, let's just say you'd hang around to watch some poor girl bluff. So as you listen to the infectious beats and witty lyrics of Catapult, remember one thing, you cannot turn away, but nice try.
Ooh, fantastic. Yes, we'll be back next week with Catapult. Something to look forward to. Say goodbye to the nice people, Dan.
Goodbye.
Don't Believe the Hype is hosted and produced weekly by Nick Lee and Dan Holt. The music used in the titles is royalty-free music courtesy of Les FM. Don't forget to subscribe on your podcast player of choice to be notified every Wednesday when a new episode is released. And if you want to help us out further, be sure to like and review to help make us more visible to like-minded souls. We will see you next week with more of the same.